Hotels. As you can see, I have a guest, Miss Robin Coleman, the illustrious Miss Robin Coleman of Carver Companies. We're going to get into it with her in a minute. She's all about being a rock star. Okay, we're going to call her Rock Star Robin when we get started here, right? Just in case you guys don't know that's her brand. That's what she is. That's who she is. I found her, or I guess we found or discovered each other on LinkedIn some time ago. And, she every now and then makes comments about me, and I make comments back. And these are good comments, don't get me wrong. But we're going to get into that in a minute. As you guys know, the people that have watched the show, I've changed my format where I'll talk first and then do my intro and then come back. So nothing's changing. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. So right now, we're going to go to the intro. We're going to start some music, and then we're going to go from there. So I just hit my record button, which I should have hit earlier. I don't know why I didn't hit earlier, but you know what? Sometimes things happen. But hey, we're going now. So you guys have a great day. Go ahead and have a great show. And we're going to be back on here with Miss Robin Coleman. Give me a couple minutes. Be patient with me.
Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations, before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship-building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes, Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
There we are. Good afternoon, and thank you again for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels Live Hospitality Talk Show. Thank you guys so much. Today is Tuesday, August 1st. Is this year going by fast, or is it just me? I don't know, but it just seems like it's going a little fast, but that's okay. We're here today. Happy Tuesday to everybody. We got none other than Miss Robin Coleman here. I appreciate her coming on. Let's just give her a round of applause before I even get started. Okay. So we're going to get into it with her in a minute, but, every now and then someone comes in your life, and sometimes it can be via social media. It can be, and I guess in real time, where someone just has this enthusiasm that you haven't seen before. You know what I mean? And this enthusiasm is not just about the hospitality industry, but it's about dealing with people and how to appreciate your people. And one thing that I see from Robin is that she not only walks the walk, she talks the talk. She appreciates your people. I see it because I see it on social media. She's not afraid to show things on social media. A lot of people would be kind of bashful and I don't know if I should do that, and people going to take me the wrong way. But then there's some people just like, you know what? This is me. This is what I'm going to do. This is a platform, and I can use it to benefit not just herself, but the people that she works with, the organization, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it's all about, and I appreciate her. And when she actually reached out to me, and I said, of course, because I never, sometimes I don't know if people want to come on or not or whatever. And she reached out to me maybe a couple of weeks ago and just said, hey, I'm interested in coming to your show. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. I don't know if that was a surprise to her that it was so easy for us to make this thing happen. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Robin, you can unmute yourself. I haven't done your bio yet, but please come on and say hey.
Well, you know how I always begin. Rock stars, how are you today?
Well, I'm
I am
fine. I'm sure
so
everyone else is the same way too. I mean, just knowing that you're here, your presence. We appreciate your presence, and for everybody that's here, that's listening, that's watching, feel free to make comments. Say hey, say what's going on. I see all about the experiences listening from the friendly skies. Okay, all right. So Michelle Rogers out there flying somewhere as usual. So we appreciate you, Cheryl. Rock stars in the house. Yes, thank you so much. So I don't know if you can see you can't see the comments, I don't think, but I can see the comments, and I'll go ahead and read those comments as they come on. As
okay.
for the replay, when this is over and then you go back and listen to it or watch it, you'll be able to see the comments as well. In fact, I will put these comments on the screen right there. So this, right now the comments are on the screen. So thank you so much. All about the experiences. Who is Cheryl? Appreciate you. And then I'll put this next comment on here as well. Rock stars in the house. So yeah. So just make sure you guys make your comments. But before we get in with Robin, I want to read this brief bio that she sent me. Okay, so bear with me. A hospitality rooms division cheerleader, Robin has dedicated more than 15 years of servicing many facets of the hospitality industry. Her career began as a breakfast attendant at a Comfort Inn and Suites. Her talent has allowed her to teach, coach, mentor, and inspire many in front of the house, heart of the house, as Robin often says. From front of the house to heart of the house, as Robin often says. It's the house for me. That's what she says. Robin's desire is to see those in entry-level positions spread their wings and excel. Her objective is to inspire and create a platform to encourage promotion and maximizing potential. In Robin's spare time, she enjoys bike riding, playing basketball, cooking, and spending time with her family. Without further ado, welcome to the stage, Miss Robin Rockstar Coleman.
Hi, rock stars.
So thank you so much for coming on again. I just want to, let me just look and see the comments. Any other comments here? I see Charlie Carter. I'll put her comment on there. It says, our very own rock star. Thank you, Russ. Oh, you're more than welcome, Miss Charlene Charlie Carter. Excuse me, I said
Yes.
that wrong. Okay. No, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know who you are too. So you probably don't know who I am, Charlie, but I do know who you are. See, I follow
Everybody
all
knows
kind of
Shirley.
people. Yes. I follow you guys. I know Carter. But anyway, let's get into it with you, Robin. So, you tell me, because like I said, just reading your bio, I can read bios and stuff like that, but I like when people tell their own story, right? And I'm a lead it at like this. I'm gonna say this one question I ask a lot of people to come on this show. Hopefully, I just know twists and turns in here, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I don't want to be on the show anymore. So hopefully, it's not one of those things. But hey, did you choose hospitality, or did hospitality choose you?
I chose hospitality. Just to tell you, just to begin my story, I started teaching school. I taught school for about 12 years. And during the summer break, I wanted to do something that involved me still working with people. So I started off working at a Comfort Inn and Suites as a breakfast attendant. And from there, my career in hospitality just took off. From a breakfast attendant, I went to the front desk. I went to night auditor. From night auditor, I went to clean housekeeping and houseman, and that's pretty much how my career started. One of the things that really intrigued me about the industry is that I come from a family in a community of service. A lot of my family members are in the industry. I have a lot of family members who are in the military, politicians. So my family is a very a family of service, and we do a lot of customer. Our family does a lot of customer service, so that was really one of the other things that kind of intrigued me about the industry.
I like that. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. So, okay, so you started off with Comfort Inn and Suites, doing the breakfast. Now, explain that to me, or explain that to everyone. I know what it is, but explain that and how Was it what you expected? Was it easy? What are some of the challenges that you came across during that? And how were you able to rise above some of the challenges and still keep this positive attitude that you have?
So that's a great question. So I started off as a breakfast attendant. That was a lot of fun. You're serving the guests breakfast. Back in that time, it was, our continental breakfast was like a hit at the hotel. It was, a lot of the reasons why a lot of the sports team came. Everybody, came because they really wanted to, get the breakfast. The breakfast was a great compliment, or a great amenity to our guests at the hotel. So, being a breakfast attendant was a lot of fun. I got to interact with the guests. I got to serve the guests. I got to talk to the guests. One of the challenges that I found that I had in being a breakfast attendant was oftentimes because of the capacity, it was kind of hard to keep up at times. But it was a lot of fun, and serving in breakfast, it really was a great cushion for me learning how to deal with customers, up front and personal. So that was quite interesting. That was a quite interesting start for me being a breakfast attendant.
And was it fun? You said it was
Yes,
fun too.
it was lots of fun because I got to interact with the guests. I got to talk with the guests. I got to serve the guests. And the intensity, the pace was really high. Having to keep up. Because like I say, back in those days, it was, we were serving like a lot of the sports teams, and
Hmm.
that was really our guest was, our demand generator, I should say, was those teams. So just keeping
Okay.
up with all of that high capacity and that high volume kind of kept me busy. So that was a lot of fun. So that
Now,
was my
now
intro.
you keep saying back in those days. What does that mean? When was this?
Maybe the early 2000s,
I
the
don't know if
early
you're dating
2000s.
yourself or dating me. You talking about back in those days? Is that before they weren't called hotels in? I mean, what was this?
We were dealing with listen, our client base was different, our Smurf market was different, our
Okay,
guest needs were a lot different.
okay, all right.
It was so just basic, back then, everybody was coming to the hotel to get that full breakfast,
That full
so
breakfast. I got you. I got
yes.
you. I understand. I was just joking. I had to throw it in there because you said it like 10 times. I'm like, what's he talking about back in those days? I need to
Yeah.
clarify what back in those days are or is. Okay, okay. So let me just ask this. I never asked anybody this. Anyone that was a breakfast server in the morning. What did you do when you ran out of food? Because I know you ran out of food once or twice. What did you do? How'd you dance around that one?
we when we ran out of food, we had to be very creative. So there was always something that we had that was in excess. So when you
Okay.
run out of one thing, you just add more of the thing that you have. And sometimes
Okay.
that meant coffee. We hardly ever ran out of muffins. So there was always a supply of bread and muffins and things like that. But when you run out of one thing, you just add more of what you have.
Okay, all right. See, you just ad lib. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna ask some questions that are gonna be out there that you probably never asked before or on a
Listen,
public thing like this. So no,
you
that's good to know.
Rockstar Robin is very transparent.
Yes, yes, I know, and I appreciate that. And
Yes.
I see a comment from Jana Usher. She says, "Yell at the kitchen." LOL. That's if you run out of stuff. Very good. Thank you, Jana. Good seeing you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so we know how you got in this industry. We know, did hospitality choose you or you chose hospitality? We know that. Okay, now you're in it. You chose it. You got in. You did it. Probably part time to start, right?
That is correct. Part time during the summer months when school was out.
Okay, so now how did it suck you in? You know what I mean? How did it get you?
So let me tell you, that's so interesting that you asked that. How it got me was, so my youngest daughter, when she went to high school, the culture of the classroom had changed a little bit. And when I was working at the hotel, it was never the same day. It was always something new, something exciting was going on. And I really enjoyed, just the guest interaction and working with the guests, working with the teams. I just really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the momentum. I really enjoyed the fact that the hospitality offers so many opportunities for growth. There's so many disciplines and in areas that we can work, and it's just it was limitless. It was limitless for me. You know what I mean? From being a breakfast attendant, I started working with a consulting group that was that hired me on, and with that consulting group, I began to teach classes at a metro area technical college. I taught hospitality classes there. I started training people on the desk after I learned how to work the desk. Started doing night audit and training people on night audit, and by accident, in this industry, we are true plug and play. I was plugged into housekeeping. And I think it was in housekeeping that I really, really, really kind of nested there. And it was the intensity of it all, that because I have a very colorful personality. So it was the intensity of housekeeping that was just so much fun for me. I mean, it was like I used to run to work.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool, and I'm glad you said that. You mentioned there's a lot of opportunities out there. I guess you just chose which way to go. You probably weren't even sure which way you wanted to go, but you wanted to learn as much as you could about
Exactly.
each department or whatever different entities or whatever, and just wherever they need help. And I mean, that's the thing. If you get entrenched in the hospitality industry, you said plug and play, which was a good thing. So it didn't matter where they put you. You already knew you were trained on that particular, that discipline or whatever. If that's the front office, if that was housekeeping, if that's whatever, banquets or whatever, you were plug and play. So you're kind of like in baseball, they call that a utility player, where it doesn't matter where they are. If they need to catch, they can catch. If they need to be playing outfield, then play outfield. So it's plug and play. And I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of people that I talk to, they talk about going into the industry and things like that. And they go, well, what advice would you give? And I say, well, learn as much as you can. I don't care where you come in, just learn as much as you can, because I always say this: some people came in the front door, some people came the back door, some people came the side door. I don't care what door you came in, just learn as much as you can. And the thing is to stay there. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. You don't want to go out the front door. I mean, just stay in there. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
I appreciate you saying that. So thank you so much for sharing that.
And it's interesting that you say that, Russell, because and even when I'm training managers and I'm training teams, I always tell them, we hear sometimes in our work, in the workforce, well, that's not my job. That's not my job. That's not my job. That's not my job. When we ask them to step outside of their role into another role, that's not my job. But I always tell them, embrace that, because you're learning how to do other stuff. You're stacking your bench. When you learn how to do other stuff, then it opens your window of opportunity and your bench is stacked. So I tell them all the time, embrace the opportunity to learn how to do other stuff.
Yes, I like that. We call it, well, we used to call it back in the day, is that called cross training? Remember that?
Yes.
Cross training? Do they still use that term? That's what it used to call it.
Yes.
Okay, so learn as much as you can about different areas, and then because you never know where you may need to jump in or whatever, and you never know what you're going to learn from there. So and where that's going to lead to. So so you've been in your role now, or you've been in the industry for 15 years. Am I right on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hold on one second. Jana's saying and cross training, yes. Yes, thank you so much for the comments. Hey, the comments are open. You can always make comments. We encourage the engagement, the communication, the questions. So whatever you want to say, provided it ain't, out there, go ahead and say it, and then I'm going to put it on the screen in real time, just like I'm putting Jana's comments on the screen right now. So, so you started 15 years ago. Now, when did you meet up with Carver, or were you always with Carver Companies?
So Carver. So let me tell you a little bit about my history with Carver. So I've been with the Carver companies now for about 9 years.
Okay.
Um, Carver came along by chance and opportunity. One of my mentors um, uh, introduced me to Carver. And when I came to Carver, I was in one of the first hiring tiers that Carver did when we first started our company. Our company, we currently right now have 4 partners. Of course, you know Joe Carver, our CEO, such a phenomenal visionarian. We're coming up onto our 10-year anniversary with the Carver companies. So I started with Carver in an entry level position via my mentor. I started in an entry level position. I started out in sales. And as our company began to grow, my mentor began to mentor me and began to download into me, I began to grow. I was just really hungry to learn everything that I could about the industry. And it's one thing that my mentor always says. She says to us all the time, there's something inside of people, and we have to go for that thing that's inside of them. Whatever that good thing is inside of you, I'm coming for it. I've had great mentorship and have grown. As our company have grown, I have grown. We've added a lot of layers onto our company, and as our company has grown, I've also grown with it.
Wow, that is great. That is great. Now I've known Carver for. I mean, I don't know Joe Carver personally. I know the company though,
Yes.
and they've been around for. You said it was going on 10 years. So yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say about. I was actually gonna say it seemed like it's been around longer than that. But but yeah, can you give a rundown? A brief rundown on what Carver Companies does. I mean, I know them because they do task force.
Right.
Because I used to do task force. I never done it through Carver, but I did it kind of on my own as under Russell of Hotels. But I I know what they're about. There's a lot of people that they've come across, a lot of companies that know what they do, believe in what they do. But if you can just give me a brief synopsis of what Carver Company does and what they stand for.
So we started off. We're now Carver. The power of reach. We started off as just task force, and then we branched out into executive search, and then we branched out to task to perm, and we most recently 2023 added our H2B H2B visa candidate program. So we have about maybe 4 layers of service that we're actually that we're constant 4 layers of service that we're concentrated on right now. So that's task force, executive search, test to perm, and our H2B visa candidate program. That's really the meat of what we're doing right now.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
and
good.
we're coming up on our 10th anniversary. We're coming up on our 10th year anniversary, and we've evolved and changed and grown and add many layers to what we're doing. And of course, our name is out there. We just launched our Carver app, so we have our own app now, and we're just continually to grow, and we're just continuing, and we've grown so much, so
No, you
much.
have. I definitely can say that. And congratulations to Carver for celebrating 10 years and continuing to evolve, not just staying where you were 10 years ago. You've evolved into, she mentioned at least another 3 different things that you do now. So, and that's what it's all about. It's about evolving. It's about, evolving not just in what you do as a company, but technology wise, right? Where you're not just doing the same old things that we're doing. And and I just have to say this, that's if there's something against the hospitality industry, is that we don't evolve as fast as we should when it comes to like
Right.
technology and things like that. So knowing that Carver is ahead of the curve, I appreciate that, and I welcome that, and thank you so much, Carver, for being ahead of the curve, right, and staying,
Yay!
and evolving like
Yeah.
I wish a lot of other companies within our industry would. But anyway, but thank you so much for sharing that with us. So what do you get this joy out of? Because I see a lot of joy and excitement. And what I mean by that, well, let me just ask that first, and then I'll go on from there.
So, let me start with this. So, I've always, in any position that I've ever been in, any job I've ever been in, I've always started at an entry level position, which for me and my personality is good because I do well through stepping stones. So I started off with, like I said, with Carver, in sales, and through the nurturing of my mentor, I began to really grow and bud and flower. I think that I found the greatest version of myself when my mentor actually placed me, or the Carver companies, I would say the Carver companies actually gave me the opportunity to work in what we call, we had a contract labor portion umbrella to our business that was called CWT, Carver World Staffing. And because we were listening to the needs of our client, we shifted our paradigm from that, into just actually providing actual staffing as opposed to contracting it. But it was when I stepped into, or Carver allowed the platform for me to step into heart of house and front of house, the rooms division side of the business, is when I found the greatest version of myself. That is when I really began to flower and began to bloom, and really, got into, wanting to see people grow, because I grown. So I wanted to see people grow. And it was something about that evolution and that metamorphosis. And I am teaching school. I taught elementary for a number of years, and it was something about the life cycle of a butterfly, of a caterpillar to a butterfly, that was just mind-boggling to me. And that butterfly to a caterpillar it talks about the evolution, or the life cycle of growth and evolving. So that's what really, 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 just got me excited to see a housekeeper, to see a houseman, to see a front desk agent, to see a bellman go on to be a GM. It's just absolutely amazing to me, because what people don't realize is that, well, I don't say people don't realize, but sometimes we take for granted the steps and, the depth that it takes to get there. You know what I mean? It takes skill set, it takes training, it takes investing, it takes oftentimes somebody investing in us to be able to get there. So that's just exciting. It's been so exciting to me to just see the transformation, to see the metamorphosis of people evolving and growing and becoming the best versions of themselves. That's been mind blowing.
Wow. I could just, I can just see the passion. I don't even have to hear what you're saying, but just to see the passion that you have for the industry and for people coming up, and maybe people that under your tutelage that you've helped to get to where they are now. Because, and you hit something. Everyone needs an advocate on their side, right? Training is great. We all need to be trained and all that, but we also need an advocate to open those doors, or to push people when they didn't think they could be pushed, or they didn't think they had the qualifications to get to certain positions. Because just like you, I've come up with people that, they may have started off as bellmen or dishwashers or whatever, and now they're general managers, or now they're VPs of different hotel management companies or whatever. I mean, I just like you've seen it. I've seen those things, and people can achieve that stuff. It's just that I guess sometimes what am I trying to say? Some people don't see that. Some people on the outside don't see it. They just see that this is where you are now. They don't see that, okay, yeah, I had to bust my hump to get to here. Right. I had to have people on my side to get to here. I had to have somebody training me, motivating me, mentoring me, or whatever, all those things to get to this point, right? And I can, like I said, I can just tell just from the conversation, just from, the look on your face when you're saying certain things, that you get joy from this stuff, right? Yes. This whole training thing and mentor, you actually get joy from this, huh?
Yes, I love it.
See, because some people would say, and I have to say this, I got to come out and say this. First of all, I see Sarah Olamu?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes, hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, how are you? Let me put your comment. She says Rockin' Robin. There you go. So thank you for coming on, Sarah, as well, and making your comments. We're on with Miss Rockstar Robin Coleman. She's with of Carver Companies, but she's a rock star in her own right. So it doesn't matter who she's with. She's going to be a rock star, okay? I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know. So we're just talking about just her helping to transform people into probably being the best version of themselves, and maybe they didn't even think they could be there. But it does take someone to push people and to motivate, and I really appreciate that. And I was going to say something, and I lost my train of thought because this Sarah came on and said something. Now I lost my train of thought. But let me see. What was I going to say? Okay, so I'm going to throw out some words out here for you because, like I said, I lost my train of thought. So, no. Let me ask this first. Do you do a lot of traveling with your job?
I do. I do a lot of traveling. So let me talk. So let's talk a little bit about, if it's okay, what I actually do with the Carver companies. So I am a national account manager, and I manage all heart of house needs for Carver. All the heart of house needs, all heart of house opportunities, all rooms division needs with Carver. Okay.
Okay. Hold on a second. Before you go any further, what is heart of the house? Because some people, remember, you got to talk to people like they don't know anything, okay? Like, what is heart of the house? I don't know anything about hotels. So tell me what the heck heart of the house is.
So heart of the house is the art, or the heart of the house that it's the piece of business within the hotel that keeps the heart pumping, keep things going. It keeps the engine running. Housekeeping, housemen, maintenance, laundry, all of that is heart of house. And it's some of the full service properties that even means ballet, that even means even maintenance in some full service hotels. It all depends on the service of the hotel. Limited service, full service, boutique, or resort. It just all depends. But heart of the house is that's the nucleus of the hotel, and it keeps the house going. It keeps the heart pumping. That's what heart of house is.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Keep going.
So I manage all of heart of house needs for the Carver. I manage all heart of house needs, and basically what I do is I have a phenomenal counterpart that works with me in Carver. I call him the yin to my yang. He and I work very well together. So what I do is I'm out on the road on properties where we have teams, or where a property may need some restructuring, some reorganization, some support. A manager that needs some training, anything that any property level needs, that's what I do. I go out on property and I provide support, training, help with the staffing, help to get things restructured. I'm out on the road doing that, while my counterpart handles all the administrative things that goes on in our office in terms of our heart of house needs. So that's basically, what I do. We have a lot of what we call SWAT teams that are out, and our SWAT teams are a team of trained professional housekeepers, mostly supervisors, that are cross-dimensional, or what we call multi-dimensional. They can do it all. They can self-inspect rooms. They can clean rooms. They act as they create deep clean training. They actually supervise. They do it all. They have a stack bench where they are multidimensional, and they can do anything you need them to do in heart of house. That's what's most popular within our heart of house. We staff. We provide managers, rooms division managers, housemen, lobby attendants, laundry attendants, public space people. Our SWAT keepers, they do all of that. So that's basically what I do at Carver Companies, and do it and love doing it. Yes,
I see. Dang, I mean that's a whole mouthful right there. I mean you doing too much over there. So no, this is great. This is so needed, and so I'm glad that you're here, because you're here to give us that enthusiasm that sometimes we miss, or we forget that, this is an industry where, we gotta either cheer for ourselves, we gotta cheer for someone else, right? In order to get the job done. Because it can be a rough job, okay? It can be heart of the house. You can get your heart ripped out sometimes. You know what I mean? Okay. So believe me, I done seen it all too.
Yes,
Okay, so I
yes.
was a housekeeping manager back in the day, and just going through
Mhm.
some of the stuff, and just and being neglected, and being I don't say taken advantage of,
Mhm.
just being, well, maybe a little bit of that too, a little bit of that as well, or taken,
Yeah.
been taken for granted and things like that. So,
Mhm.
but no, I understand. I mean, I know I'm trying to make light of certain things because I want to make this fun, but it's true. I mean,
Well, we want
if
to be
people,
transparent as well. That's what people love about me is that the transparency. You know what I
yes,
mean? It's just yeah. The transparency. People don't oftentimes know what goes on in heart of house or in the back of the house because
hmm
they just don't know what's going on. So it's important. That's another thing that is important for me is that people see what does it take to keep this engine running. Heart of house is very intense. We're talking
hmm
about it's physical, it's intense. I often tell people all the time, we look at housekeeping as just cleaning rooms, but it's more depth than that.
hmm
It's managing. You got to manage that board. You got to do time management. You got to get in and out of that room that you're cleaning within a certain amount, allotted amount of time. You know, customer service. You oftentimes we the first people. Well, not the first people, but we see the guests. And we have to answer the guest requests. We have to also mainly what we do is provide a quality product to present to the guests because it's all about our guest experience. So it's a lot of parts and pieces than just cleaning rooms. And that's the part that I want people to understand. A housekeeper is a professional. And I too consider myself to still along with my resume as a housekeeper. We are professionals. We are trained professionals that have to have a skill set in order to get the job done. We got to know what chemicals to use on the back. We got to know what chemicals to use in the restroom. We got to know what
hmm
chemicals to use on the surface. We got to know how to nurse, tuck, and fold that bed. We've got to
hmm
know the necessary techniques that it takes to get in and out of that room so that our guests can have a quality product.
exactly, and in a timely manner, right? Everything is pretty much time. You got to clean so many rooms in a certain period of time, and like I said,
Mhm.
people don't get that, and you know what's going on in LA right now, and it
Mhm.
is what it is. There's a strike going on here in LA with housekeepers. Well, everybody from the heart of the house, let's just say that, are pretty much on strike, right? And
Mhm.
um and the stuff that you're explaining, most people don't know that this is what you have to go through in housekeeping. I'm just using housekeeping because I have the utmost respect for anyone in housekeeping because that's where I started. I started my career in housekeeping. So,
Mhm.
of course, yeah. When this strike came up, I said, hey, you need to pay them. I mean, I don't care what's going on, you need to pay them because I know they bust their hump day in and day out, and they are the experts on what they're doing. They are technicians on what they do.
That's
They are the
correct.
professionals on what they do, right? And
Yes.
I said sometimes, a lot of times it's a thankless position where people do things, they just do it, and they're not looking for thank yous and recognition, but we should give it to them. You know what I
That's
mean? And
right.
that's the thing. And if that's in the way of paying whatever they're asking for, or just the understanding what they're going through, or asking an extra question. Don't just assume they're gonna come to work and do what
Right.
and bust their hump all day. What are they doing their off days? Do we have these conversations with people? I mean, and that's what gets me is that. And I'm on my own soapbox right now, but that's what gets me is that we don't sit down and have conversations with people. We don't know
That's
what they do on their days off. We just
right.
know, are you coming to work tomorrow? Or you didn't come to work. I'm writing you up. You know what I mean? That's how we do it.
Right.
We so react to certain things, right? We
Mhm.
forget that there's a human part to this. And
That's right.
people, they care about their jobs, but they
Mhm.
want to be, they want to know that you care about them.
That's right. That's right. And it's amazing that you say that because, and I think, I'm so grateful for our VP of task force. That is her number one thing. Her number one thing is that, yes, our client is our client, but our consultants are also our client. How are we treating them? Pull them.
Mm-hmm.
Her thing is always, Robin, pull them close. Talk to them. Nurture them. Understand and help them to understand the value, and that it's an honor for them to partner and work with us. And that's another thing about Heart of House. It's important that we invest in our associates. I tell housekeeping managers this all the time, rooms division managers. You've got to invest in the associates, pull them close. Just listening to my daughters who are millennials, their thing is, even at work, well, what have you done for me lately? I'm like, this is work, guys. What am I going to get out of this? This culture they want to feel valued. They want to know that you're investing in them. And that's important. And the ways that we invest in them is that we pull them close. We provide the necessary training. We give them the necessary tools that are needed. We're talking to them. We want to hear what's going on in your world. How are you doing today? And all those things are important. And that's why I'm such a cheerleader for Heart of House, because in rooms division, because it's very intense. I had a manager, because I get managers that inbox me all the time on LinkedIn asking me questions, and one manager emailed me and said, well, I'm just trying to figure out, why is housekeeping always got all this drama? It's always this drama. I said, well, you got to realize that housekeeping is intense. So with that intensity, sometimes come, some creative and challenging personalities. And that's why you got to keep them motivated. You got to keep them energized. You're energized. Rock stars. You got to keep them excited. And you got to help them to realize their true value, and that there is a need for them in this industry. If we didn't have housekeepers, lobby attendant, houseman, how are we going to get rooms cleaned? And Russell, keep in mind, you got a lot of housekeepers who've gone on to be general managers, who've gone on to be hotel owners, who've gone on to be partners, who've gone on to be industry ambassadors. So just because we started entry level does not mean our story is over. I tell housekeeping managers, I tell housekeepers, keep writing your story. And writing your story means you're elevating from one dimension to the next. You're elevating from one dimension to the next. Don't wait for an opportunity. Step into an opportunity.
Wow. You know what? You done got deep up in here, okay? This is, dang, what the heck? We done went from talking about certain things that we motivational speaking, okay? So, wow. Wow. Oh my God. When I come on to do these things, there's certain things I don't expect. Okay. And that was one of the things I did not expect. So, but no, it's so true. And I love the way you put that. And I love the way, like I said, the enthusiasm is, and it's infectious. That's the thing. So your enthusiasm is infectious. So I can just only imagine the people that you come under, or the people that under your tutelage have moved on. And it's because of you, because you set that foundation for them to, don't take no for an answer, or do your best and bust your hump. And, it's not always going to be easy, but I'm here for you. You know what I mean? And if you need that extra day off, okay, let me know. I mean, because all that comes because you had conversation with people. You treat them like people, you know what I mean? Instead of a commodity or whatever, like I said, you didn't come to work. We're worried about they didn't come to work. We didn't praise them the days they did come to work, but the days they didn't show up, oh my God. I mean, it's that's it. That's it. I got that final write-up right here. You know what I mean? So, believe me, I understand. And you mentioned, housekeeper, someone said, why is there always so much drama? Yeah, there is drama because I think we put a lot of drama on that department. You know what I mean? Yeah. It can come from the front office. It can come from sales because we need something. It can come from, some of the other departments because we don't understand. You know what I mean? And we're so high in our positions that we don't have time to go down and talk to the people in housekeeping, or we don't walk the floors and have conversation with people. And that's one thing that I could always say that I did is that even as a director of sales, even as a general manager, I always had at 3:00, and this was for my own thing, but I started doing it for the housekeepers too. At 3:00, I had this sweet tooth, right? I always had a sweet tooth because I got 2 more hours to go to make it through the day, right? So I would have these little fun-sized Snicker bars, right? So the same crash that I'm going through, the housekeepers are going through the same crash, right? So what I would do is walk the floors, because I checked 5 rooms a day, regardless, whatever position I had, I checked 5 rooms a day, and different housekeepers, different sections and all that stuff, right? And I would just let them know, good job, whatever. I mean, there was never anything that was out of the ordinary, whatever. And if it was something that I could do, I would do it myself, right? So I would remove trays. I would do all that stuff from the floors and all that kind of stuff. So at 3:00, I had these Snickers bars, right? The little fun-sized ones, because that was my favorite candy when I used to eat candy. So I would give them these Snicker bars, not because they did anything well, just because I was going through a crash, and I'm sure they're going through a crash too. Maybe they needed to pick me up to finish those extra rooms for that last 2 hours. And you would, just the appreciation that they had for it was just the Snicker bar. And I would tell, in our staff meetings, I would tell other managers what I did. Why do you do that? Why are you going to? I'm like, what? I mean, it would, I'm getting choked up now. It would literally set me off when people would say stupid stuff like that. I said, what do you mean? You do the same thing for your people? Well, they're not your people. I said, wait a minute. When you're a manager, every employee you're responsible for every department. Okay, when you take that, whatever that manager owes, so whatever it is, you get hired. Every department is under you, because when there's an issue, what happens? It goes against the hotel. It doesn't go against, that one particular person, because they're not even trying to find out who that manager is. They're just saying, hey, this screwed up, and then that's it. And so everybody takes the rap for everything. So I said, hey, treat every employee like they're your employee. That's what it comes down to. And if that means if I was giving my team, certain things, I was giving the housekeepers and everyone else the same thing, because I appreciated the work that they put in. The people behind the scenes, we don't, like you said, we don't see. All we hear is there's some drama going on in housekeeping, but we don't know what was the reason why that drama is going on. You know what I mean? So, oh man, I tell you what, I know exactly what you're saying. I appreciate what you said, and thank you for your honesty.
And to add to that, I tell managers, I try to share with managers, because I mentor a lot of managers as well. You got to set the tone for what you want in your team. If you got somebody that's low vibrational, by the time they come around me, they're vibing on a high frequency. We're not doing low vibration. You know what I mean? So you got to set the pace and the tone for what you want in your department to be. You want your department to be positive, you gotta hit the door in positivity. You want your department to be motivated, you gotta come through the door with motivation written on your lips. It's gotta be on your body language. Your body language gotta speak motivation when you enter into that team. You see me on later, rock stars.
And
if I know it's gonna be an intense day, I'm leveled all the way up.
Oh my God. Yes. And I appreciate that. I listen to your stuff all the time. Whenever you post it, I'm listening to it. Before I'm going to ask you one other question, but I want to just acknowledge some people that have come on, that have made comments. As we've been talking, I've been posting their comments on the screen here. Sarah said, Rockin' Robin. Jalita, Joy, Ezel, Robin does it all. Carly Alford, Yay Rob, the rock star. Kathy Bertelson, I know that name from somewhere. Go Rockstar Robin, a LinkedIn user, I'm not sure who that is, but it says, Yay Robin, she is the best. Who said that? Let me see. Rhea Rasmussen, yes. She just put a heart up there. She just loves you. This Rhea does. Okay. Nelly Chawala. Am I saying that right? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Rockstar of the. Okay, good. Rockstar of Heart of the House. Sonia B says, we are so proud of you, Robin Rockstar. Yes. I am too. I just met her. And Carly Alford, we love and appreciate our Heart of the House expert, Robin. Thanks for having her on. No, I thank Robin for wanting to come on here. So no, I'm just a platform, right? So I want to make sure I show the best of people within this space. Because that's what I do. That's why I do the show. That's why I started this show, because I wanted people like, Robin coming on here. I didn't know what I was expecting to get today, but it wasn't this. I can tell you that. It was a lot more than what I thought, I was getting into. So Chef Cedric Mayfield, as a Carver consultant, I approve this message. Way to go, Rockstar. Okay, I can tell he's a comedian. A chef with a personality. Okay, I see you over there, Chef. And he also says, yes, ma'am, preach. Yes. She's been preaching to me all day long. So this is good. This is good. Now, okay, we're winding down. I got like 8 minutes to go, right? But I ain't in no rush to get off here. If we go over, we go over, okay? Because guess what? It's my show. I can do that if I want to. So, okay, I've never met Robin before, okay? Other than, we've talked on LinkedIn or whatever, or see your messages. I listen to your videos that you do in the morning and things like that. How has social media changed what you do, or has it changed anything that you do?
At Carver, we talk about the power of reach. That's okay. Our, that's our what I want to call, our slogan, that the power of reach. Social media has afforded us so much. It has helped us with emphasizing that the power of reach. It's helped us to reach the masses all across the United States, all across the world. We get inboxes from people from India and all these different countries that are inboxing our national account managers, that are inboxing our partners. Our VP of Task Force, she gets inundated with people just inboxing. But, social media has really, set us up to be able to expand or broaden conversations and networking with people. And it's caused us to really be able to encourage our slogan, which is the power of reach. So it's been a phenomenal tool in helping us to connect, to network, to get more consultants in, to reach our clients, to hear what our clients are saying, because we want to know what our clients are saying. We want to know what their needs are. So we're listening to them, and to see what their actual needs are. And their needs are changing on a daily basis. As our industry is expounding and our industry continues to grow, our client needs are changing. And so we want to be able to meet our client, our consultant. We want to be able to meet them where we can be best needed or best useful in giving them what they need.
Wow, that was a great one. That was a great answer. I like that. Like I said, I wasn't expecting that either, but you know what? But it works. I mean, you're taking advantage of it. It's a platform that you use. It was LinkedIn. You use the LinkedIn platform to get your message out, as far as, you're doing like what we call them in the morning, I don't know if it's stand up or whatever, daily go around. I don't know what you guys call it, but basically, what you call it?
Like a DBR.
Daily DBR. Briefing? What's DBR? Oh, okay. Excuse me. DBR, daily briefing. Okay, we didn't call it that. Okay, a DBR. Maybe I'm dating myself now. Okay, so the DBR. But okay, so she is okay. Like I said, I guess it's been a couple of years. Maybe I started seeing. I'm like, who is this lady, and what is she talking about? And just enthusiasm and talking and just rah and all that stuff. And then okay, I have to say this. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. I took this. Okay, I said, is she for real? Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, come on now. I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm the only one in my desk or my office, right? I'm looking around. Looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, is she for real right now? Okay. But and when people are for real because they consistently do it. Okay.
Right.
Now, if she did it one time and that was it, I'll be like, yeah, this Robin. Yeah. Okay. Rock star. Yeah. Whatever. But no, it's all about the consistency. And a lot of people don't understand the whole social media thing. It's about consistency, getting your
Yeah.
message out. Because I believe me, if you'd have done that one time, you wouldn't have all these people that are following you, that are asking you
Yeah.
questions and sending you messages and all that stuff. So they see that it's real, that you are a real person and you deal with real drama on a daily basis. You
Yes.
help people out. You see, there's people out there that can basically co-sign that, hey, Robin's the real deal. Robin's helped me with this. Robin's my best advocate. Yeah, Robin's this true rock star. And I can see that by the comments that I'm getting today. This is the most comments I've ever had on a show. I just have to say this, right? These are the most comments I had. So, I mean, like I said, when I first started seeing you, I always gotta qualify people, right? So I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, is she really like this? But no, I'm sorry that I thought like that. Okay, my apologies. Okay, but we being transparent, I'm being transparent too. So, but
I'm glad you brought that up because so a couple of people have inboxed me let me just a couple of people inboxed me and they say this. Well, we see you on, LinkedIn, talk about rock, but do you ever have issues where times where there's some challenges or you have to deal with some real issues? Of course I do. I do, and more often than people know. But my thing is this. Here's how I look at it. I have to deal with a lot of challenges, and often sometimes we have to do some parting of ways. But even in those challenging moments, it's my hope that either that person or myself have learned something from that. I want those challenges to be something that I want those challenges to be growth as well. I want it to be something that I've had. If I have to have a challenging conversation with someone, I hope that person and myself have grown and learned something from that, and that's okay too. I'm learning I've learned that that's okay too. That's okay too. Every lesson that I share or that I inspire, even in challenging moments, sometimes it's not for the associate or for the student. Sometimes it's for me. Sometimes it's for
right.
me. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
growing
You
too.
got to grow too. You have to
Yeah.
grow too. And sometimes we forget that in those moments that we need to grow as well. So no,
Yes.
you definitely hit it on the head right there, and I appreciate that. So I got one more question to ask before we get off of here. One more question to ask you. Are you
Yes.
ready?
Yes.
Okay. What advice would you give someone coming into the industry today? Like, say if they came in today, what advice would you give them?
So, an advice that I would give someone who's coming into the industry today, I would hope that whoever that person or that candidate is, that they would have a passion for the industry. It's more rewarding if you're passionate about it. If you're coming into the industry I'm just looking for a job. You may not tap into the best version of yourself, or your reward may not you may not tap into your true destiny. But if you have a passion and you're passionate about people, you're passionate about evolution, you're passionate about customer service and working with people and working with a team of people, then this is the industry for you. And if you have not found any inspiration, my advice for you is to find your inspiration. We've got to find inspiration. I tell managers, and I tell housekeepers and associates that all the time. You've got to find your inspiration. And the other thing is too, and I've always encouraging managers of this. Do you know, Russell? A lot of times, people don't even know, no matter how far they are in their career, they've not tapped into their true potential. As a manager and a leader, sometimes we have to nurture or pull gifts out of people. We have to pull their true potential out of them, because they don't know what their potential is. They don't know what their capacity is. They don't know what their depth is. So I always tell managers this, because I hear managers say, "Yeah, because see, I was trying to test. I was going to try to test them and see I know that they were struggling in that area. I knew that they were weak in that area, and I was going to try to just test them to see how. Don't ever test a person in an area that they're weak in. Test a person or challenge a person always in areas that they're strong, because it's
Mm.
their strength that they're able to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Their strengths will cover their challenges and their faults.
Wow. Wow. I.
Always test them when they're strong. When they're weak, you got work to do. If they're
Mm-hmm.
weak, you got work to do. You got some work to do. You got to do some coaching, some nurturing, some cultivating. But you always want to challenge people and test them in areas that they're strong. That's the true power of reach.
Wow. That is. You know what? We got to end it on that. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to say. That's, you know what? That is phenomenal. I thank you so much. You know what? Carver is lucky to have you, and
Oh,
I hope they're
you
paying you what they should be paying you over there because,
take very good care of me.
um, yes, I know they are. I know they are. Carver's a great company.
Yes, it
But no,
is.
thank you so much for coming on. You representing that rock star attitude. I appreciate that. You're representing Carver Companies as well. We appreciate you. Continue to do what you do. I'll continue to watch. If you ever need anything from me, I mean, I'm here to assist wherever I can assist. Right? If you need another platform to talk on, to come on and chop it up again, we definitely could do that. Like I said, for everyone that is watching today, I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't this, okay? And I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to talk to you. And I have one more. What is it? I see a comment here from the chef. I randomly clicked on this. Wait a minute. Let me put this on the screen. I randomly clicked on this and didn't know I was going to get this blessing today. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Chef Cedric Mayfield. Okay, thank you so much for making that comment because that means a lot, right? Because you never know who needs to hear certain things, right?
That's
And you hit on a lot of different things. And for people that did not listen to this, maybe they're coming in at the end of this. Make sure you go back and listen to it in its entirety because there's so many different, and I'll say nuggets, so many different nuggets of information, and how Robin has dealt with things. And yeah, has it always been smooth sailing? No, it ain't always been smooth sailing. Ain't nothing in life always smooth sailing, right? But it depends on the attitude. How do you attack certain things, right? You attack them from a positive standpoint, then there you go. You can only go up from there. But if you attack everything negatively, well, shit. I mean, shoot. Excuse me. You're only gonna go down. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But I can say that on here. I can do that every now and then. It can slip every now and then.
right. Before we hang up, Russell, I want to just, if you allow me to, I want to just let everybody
Yeah.
know, anybody who's looking for an opportunity to come work with our company, we welcome, anybody who's wanting to work in excellence. We have a wonderful senior recruiter. If you go onto our website, the Carver Companies, you can tap on a link to our and it'll lead you to all of our email pool and all that good stuff, our phone number and all that. But our senior recruiter is awesome. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she will be able to guide you and lead you to coming on. We welcome you aboard to the Carver.
There you
Thanks.
go. Yeah, you can always say, hey, you throw as many pitches out there as you need to. Okay, that's okay. I
Any client,
appreciate that.
need some awesome task force consultants. Carver, we got what you need. So call us, and we're available. We provide task force consultants for every discipline in the industry. So just reach out to us, and we got what you need. We got the plug and
There you
play.
go. There you
Okay,
go. The
thanks.
plug and play. Reach out
Yes.
and touch. Reach out and touch. There you go. So there you go. All right. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it up to you. You can say the last parting thing if you want. The floor is yours. You go ahead.
You know how Rockstar Robin always ended. Remember, we all what? Rock stars. Have a great day. We'll talk later.
Thank you again. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the comments from everybody that came on and joined in. Robin, thank you so much again for agreeing to come on here and tell us a little bit about your story and the rock star attitude and all the stuff that you stand for. We appreciate it. And I have to say, yeah, she is the real deal. So so when you see those videos, oh no, know that is true passion because it exudes here on this show. So thank you so much. This is On Air with Russell of Hotels. Remember, we come on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. She's in Atlanta. I'm in LA. So it doesn't matter where you are. We can make it happen. So once again, thank you so much, Robin. Appreciate it. Carver Companies, thank you for doing what you guys do. And you guys have a great person here and a great advocate for your company. So continued success. And once again, congratulations on 10 years of doing it the right way. And we appreciate your evolving as far as when it comes to technology and things like that. We do appreciate that. So you guys have a great day. Thanks again. And that's it.
Bye.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.